it was a requirement in my household to actually like school. I'll repeat that. It was a requirement to actually like school, as if that's something that you can control. And so, I basically knew I had to do something academic, and I knew I had intelligence, and I figured that I am going to please my father, and I am going to go to school for engineering. And so I went to school for engineering, and I decided to do some. I decided to add a challenge and do a hard version of engineering, electrical engineering. I also struggled with some learning disabilities. So my big learning disability is and was ADHD. So it turns out that environments like high school and elementary school and things like that are really, really hard because they require you to keep your focus all day long. And that was almost impossible for me, which is, it turns out that's the reason why I hated school. But when you get to college, it's a completely different ballgame. You get to, you don't even have to show up to class if you don't want to. In engineering, anyway. In the humanities, I think you have to, because you're basically just graded on the test. So I figured out pretty early on, if I just figure out how to do the actual like material, I don't ever have to go to class. And so I kind of did that. That's not necessarily the way I would recommend going through school. But the point here being is, like, I haven't really at this point in my life plugged into who I am. I'm just doing things for other people, which is why I didn't want to go to class. I just happened to be, lucky because I was blessed in a way that I could actually do engineering work without going to class. So I graduated, I did real well, and I didn't want to go into the working world. I had all my peers. They were at the time. This was back in 1997. At the time, I had peers graduating electrical engineering jobs, and they were making $40,000 out of school, and that was a king's ransom to me in my mind. I was like, oh my god, I picked the right major. I'm going to now make some money. So I was chasing the money like everybody does, and I picked a hard major. I had earned it, but I couldn't really imagine myself going into the working world. I was having a good time in college. I didn't go to class. I studied the material. I went and took the test and did well. So I decided, let me go to grad school in electrical engineering, and I moved out to California. So this was back in New Jersey. I moved out to California now to go to grad school. I had the whole thing set up. I'm gonna, move out to California, live the California life, become a professor maybe, and just kind of kick back. Again, still don't know who I am. I'm just, punching in the dark, really. I get to grad school, and I'm in this PhD program for electrical engineering, uh, and I'm not connecting with any other person in the program at all. Just not connecting because I don't even really want to be there. I'm escaping life, is what I'm doing. And so after about a year of this, I was like, my heart's not in this. Let me go to work. Everybody's making a lot of money that I graduated with undergrad. Now I have my master's degree. Let me go into work in the Silicon Valley because that's where electrical engineers work.